a world where everything is crazy expensive, you can get these right here. Dupays, Clowns, Inspired Buys. Actually, don't get that one. That one sucks. I have ones that don't suck, which will make it seem like a waste of money spending the money to buy the expensive ones with the money. Don't do that. Does any of this even make sense? Ah. Inspired by fragrances that make the originals feel like a waste of money. Probably give something away too. I've got a whole bunch of stuff behind the camera. You can't see it. It's right there. I'll grab something off the shelf for one of you. But you know what is a good buy? This. An oversized bottle of Raiz Twilight Aura. And this is a Rabiat Prestige. And actually these Raiz fragrances are my jam so much that I went ahead and looked up the other ones that they had. Couldn't find them at discounters, could find them on eBay. So before too long, I'll have those in and let you know how they are. But for now, let's talk this one. Comes in a large bottle, so that means you get more bang for your buck. Fire hose atomizer, gotta love that. Smells similar to Herba Pura, which Herba Pura can Herba go f itself. Ah, what is going on right now? Herba Pura is not my favorite fragrance, but there are a lot of scents that smell similar to it that I do jive with. It's kind of weird. This one really, really nice for spring and summertime. We're talking fresh, tropical, fruity, sweet. Although your lady friend may try to steal this from you, who knows, it might actually smell better on her than it does you. I just think for the price point, man, this is just an insane bang for your buck and sacrilege. But I would much rather buy this than spend the extra money to pick up Herba Pura, because I think as far as like what I would want it for, this is just as good. And the bottle has more fragrance in it. It's a win-win. Let's see if we can get things back on track here. We started off just weird. The next fragrance doesn't get talked about too much. It's this one right here, League Arena, which almost sounds like an online multiplayer game. League Arena, it's so close, you know? Kind of an interesting look here. It's got like a twist to the glass. It actually feels pretty good in the hand. It smells similar to a very popular Rabanne release. And that fragrance is 1 Million Elixir, right in that wheelhouse. Maybe not the exact same, but it has that same rose, tonka, vanilla combination going on. Also a little fruit off the top, some apples, some citrus. Really, really good for fall and winter time, but this one is not quite as loud as 1 Million Elixir is. It's a little bit more reserved in comparison. The sweetness doesn't hit quite as hard, not as sugary. But overall, in terms of the smell itself, if you like 1 Million Elixir, you should like this one as well. Nice attention grabber at a very affordable price. Affordable prices, nice. Something new. Regent. This is by Maison Asrar. And actually I've been playing Slay the Spire 2. There's a Regent in Slay the Spire 2. The only reason I'm saying that is because there have to be at least 5 people who watch my channel who have played that game. So if you do, shout out to you. So this dude right here is new, which means the price point is basically at its apex right now. Like this is the high point as far as how much this is gonna cost. And it's all the way up at 45 bucks. So actually not that high, especially as time goes on, that price goes just a little bit. So what's this got? Well, it's got citrus, good amount of it, along with ginger off the top, really sparkling, sweet, very fresh. Iris, orange blossom, musk as it dries down. Smells similar to Suspiro's Vibrato, hence the color scheme right here. I guess to be fair with that color scheme, you might think PDM Halton, something like that. You know, any Harrods fragrance really, but no, Vibrato. Which makes it perfect for this time of year, spring, summer, also fall. This stuff, absolutely fantastic. And like most all the other fragrances that come in this bottle style right here, really well done. Let's see what next. Poseidon by Elixir. Now this smells similar to Afternoon Swim. Kind of makes sense, right? Poseidon in the ocean, afternoon swim in the ocean. Oh, genius is so smart. Now I have to throw a warning to you right now. So here it is, check it out, ready? Ah, warning, yeah. This right here, you wanna be picking up 50 bones or less, okay? Now on Elixir's website right now, sold out. That's no fun, that's no fun. But you can find it on eBay. But it's too expensive. Yeah, I saw it on eBay for 110. Don't do that. So just be aware of that. If you search this up and you just see it only there at the time that you're searching, just walk away. Wait for it to pop up at a discounter like JOMASHOP or some other site. Wait for it to pop back up at their store. Do not be paying 3 figures for it because you're getting ripped off. Heavy. Okay. Note breakdown, pretty much the exact same as Afternoon Swim. Great citrus note in here. Little sugary sweet, which I actually like a lot. One of the better inspired by Afternoon Swims that you can possibly get. That sounds weird to say. Afternoon Swims. Nusuk Atik. This is one I basically just threw into my cart because I legitimately thought the bottle looked cool. It was one of those times that I was adding like 15 fragrances on JOMASHOP, I think it was. You know, just going through page after page and they all just start to run together. Eyes completely bloodshot and dry, looking like one of those SpongeBob characters when they get the really gross, hyper-realistic pictures that they have that pop up. Just like that. And I saw this one on there and I was like, that looks pretty sick. Obviously, I could tell that it was an inspired by a type of fragrance, threw it in there and wished for the best. By the way, that is actually not a great idea. It's not really the best way to shop for stuff. A lot of times it will backfire and blow your face off spectacularly, so beware that. And this is a sort of Naxos dupe, a Naxos inspired by fragrance, of which there are approximately 6 dozen that have come out over the past year or so, give or take 5.5 dozen. So of course, with this smelling similar to Naxos, we're talking honey, we're talking tobacco, cinnamon, also have tonka in here, amber, some woody notes as well. Now, each Naxos alternative kind of approaches things in a different way. Some are gonna be more honey forward, some are gonna be more aromatic forward, some are kind of a mix of the two. Some are fresher, some introduce a weird floral aspect that doesn't work all that well, but they all kind of do things differently. This one is more honey, tobacco, warm spice forward, not quite as aromatic balanced. So you have to enjoy that part of Naxos to enjoy this, but I think it smells great. The longevity is solid, the projection is there. Flies under the radar, but I think it smells really nice. Pretty good. Also looks kind of cool. It walks that line, you know, between tacky and actually not too bad. The next one smells similar to a very expensive designer fragrance, actually one of the most expensive designer fragrances out there, and it is pricey, the designer fragrance. But before that, I bestow upon you codes. They're also in the description. You can just copy and paste those suckers. So we're talking saving money. Where, why, when, how? By entering codes into stores like JOMASHOP, Fragflex, the Perfume Box. Actually, it's just Perfume Box, but whatever. Gift Express, Beauty House, and more. So again, those are on the screen. They're also in the description. Use those anytime you shop at those stores, save yourself some cash flow. Boom, Rayhan Nocturno Elixir. So this smells similar to Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif, which they just came out with a limited edition of. And by limited edition, I mean the bottle is bigger and costs more. Limited. Wow, so cool. Now there's been a multitude of Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif dupes that have popped out here recently. This one, Codlage Icon, Riffs, Seasons, Drift. Of those 3 especially, this is the one to get. I think it just smells most similar to the BDC at the lower price point that, you know, you're looking for if you're shopping for an inspired by fragrance. Just overall head to head with Icon, it outperforms it. And with the Riffs dupe, that is more like a twist. It's kind of like taking Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif and trying to make it fresher off the top and just kind of going a different direction a little bit. French Avenue, Zenith Santal, which smells similar to Stronger With You Sandalwood. And it's interesting because they have a Fragrance World dupe of that fragrance as well, which actually looks way more similar to Stronger With You Sandalwood. I've shown this in the past. Here it comes. Dang it. Proud of You Sandalo. Between these two, the French Avenue is better, in my opinion. Costs a little bit more because it's a French Avenue, at least most of the time. You never know with, you know, some of these fragrances, they can get a little wonky with their pricing, but for the most part, you're gonna find this one a little bit more expensive than this one. The French Avenue just comes across a little bit clearer, higher quality ingredients, a little better push, but really, they're dupes of the same thing. So if you want a ball on a straight up budget, you can get this one right here. It's still pretty nice, but between the two, if you want Stronger With You Sandalwood on the low, that's the one. Something that flies way under the radar, and I'm talking way under the radar, Montaigne Enigmatic Exclusif. As I said, when I tell you way under the radar, I'm talking like subterranean, because even on Montaigne's own website, you know how many reviews they have of this? 2. And you may be thinking, oh, well, they probably just dropped that. It probably hadn't been out for a while. Been out for years, baby. Yeah, this stuff's been around. So enigmatic exclusive. When you look at that note breakdown, cognac, benzoin, vanilla. Obviously, it's not the whole note breakdown. That's how they always do it, like 3 or 4 notes. It's gonna give you that Raja Parfum, Creation E, Enigma, that kind of vibe. Now, I need to warn you, okay? This stuff is pretty freaking strong. Like, it's got a push to it, man. It's not subtle, and it is boozy. It is boozy, it's spicy, it's sweet. And for people out there familiar with Creation E/Enigma, that one has always kind of come across to people as smelling like root beer to an extent. Like this root beer opening, Dr. Peppery even you might say, sort of opening with a boozy sweetness underneath, and this has that pretty strongly. And so if you don't like that vibe, if that doesn't work for you, then do you know why would you get this? That's a terrible idea. Let's rethink what we're doing. But if you do like that, which I always have, I've got like every version of that fragrance. And there are many versions, including some of the older ones that I have, like the paper labels and stuff that are very pricey nowadays. They were pricey before, but I'm getting sidetracked. What I'm saying is I've always jived with that. So I like the way that this one opens up, even though it kind of slaps you upside the head a little bit. But if you don't like that, be aware. Be scared. It's like R.L. Stein, Goosebumps. Sprayer, beware, you're in for a scare. Yeah. Montaigne has a bunch of really good stuff though that is less aggressively face punching. So I'd still check them out. They fly under the radar, but they've got some solid stuff. La Fed Intoxicate Mystique. Coming in a greenish, angel share-ish looking bottle, but smelling like Prada Paradigm. Nice. And as of right this millisecond, if you want Prada Paradigm for that lower price point, this is probably your best bet outside of just buying Prada Paradigm at a discount from a discounter, which is technically also an option. But it won't be as cheap as this. Probably. Most likely, definitely. Geranium, bergamot, vanilla, some of the notes in the scent here. It does suffer from what a lot of Cod Lodge fragrances suffer from, and that is the performance is not crazy good. Now, it's not crazy awful either. It's just, you know, a lot of times people will go into Middle Eastern fragrances and they'll be like, I want this stuff to be unhinged, you know, just like crazy. They want it to fill up a room. They want it to go through walls, like just phase shift through the wall. And this is just normal, which it's weird that nowadays you have a fragrance that performs just, you know, normal, and people will be like, what? Normal. Okay. I want the fragrance to physically form a barrier that people have to fight through if they get near me. So outside of that, outside of the normal performance, this is Prada Paradigm on the low. Well done. Let's wrap up with 2 fragrances at once, kind of like a little bonus in here. So we got the Nitro Gold on one hand. The other hand, does it have anything to do with that? No. This is Abstract Portrait by Offnod. Or depending on where you look, I think sometimes it says Portrait Abstract, but you know, it's abstract is above portrait here, so I'm calling it Abstract Portrait. So 2 very different fragrances. Nitro Gold over here smells more similar to Born in Roma, mixed with a little sprinkling of Millésime Imperial. It does give you fantastic versatility. It's that type of fragrance that you can just grab, spray, and go and use with great confidence pretty much whenever you're going anywhere or doing anything. Essentially, if you want to dumb it down, it is Dumont recapturing or trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle that Nitro Red was. You know, very similar thought process with Nitro Gold over here, but it does have that versatility really locked in, and for the price point, it's a steal. This smells completely different from this, like nothing in common at all. This smells similar to Ensalade. So it is gonna be more of a spring, fall, winter type of scent profile. In terms of the cost, mid-30s. It smells way more expensive than that. And it has a really nice balance of bits of incense, sweetness, with even a little hint of rhubarb off the top. So this tiny little tartness that you get when you first spray it on. I know it looks like it might lean, you know, potentially a little Baccarat Rouge 540 because of the red color, or maybe a little, potentially a little feminine with the name and everything. Maybe that is me reading into it too much, but don't worry, it is absolutely not a feminine leaning fragrance at all. Let's do the giveaway right here. Mise en Sur Sweet Praline. It's a completely random fragrance. I've got a bunch of them I'm gonna try to be giving away here, kind of clearing out a bunch of stuff. If you're gonna be interested in the giveaway, just like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave me a comment, hit me with your go-to clone that you think makes buying the original a waste of money. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the Post Tab YouTube channel. If you're the winner, hit me up, I'll ship that out to you. Good luck. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.